The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of the staff and management of Salem Media of Hawaii.
Welcome to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic.
Marko Mijuskovic is registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004, and at Bell Strategy Partners, 677 Ala Moana Boulevard, Suite 720, Honolulu, Hawaii, 96813. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations.
And now your host, Marko Mijuskovic.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource every Wednesday night at 5 p.m. You can also hear us online at hawaiimoneyresource.com, hawaiimoneyresource.com. So if you missed the show by any chance, definitely hawaiimoneyresource.com is the website for you to go and check the podcast. Podcast is usually up after our show, so you are pretty much real time with the podcast. And what do we do over here? Since 2011, we interview numerous number of business owners right here in the state of Hawaii. We're trying to expand our interviewing options, and we are moving to mainland. Not literally, but we are getting some colleagues on the mainland running the similar type of shows, like copying the concept, and now we are expanding, and we're going to be covering, I think, 3 or 4 states, including Hawaii. So pretty much when you are listening to our show, you can listen to the shows that we're interviewing the business owners in the different states across the nation. So that's something that we have for this year in the work, something that is coming up. But today we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. And what does that mean? That means that we're going to cover the whole show. We're going to talk about the preparation and steps that you need to take in order to get yourself prepared for departing out of that business. A lot of time people come to me and say, yeah, I want to get out of the business. And we ask them, where do you want to get out of the business? They say, I want to get out tomorrow. And I say, good luck. Why? Because it's most likely, it's possible, but is it going to be the best way? Probably not. Are you going to pay the most taxes on that exit? Probably you will. So today's topic is going to be 7-step process. We're going to pretty much re-engage that. We were talking about the 7-step process numerous times in the past. Today we're just going to refresh your memory. And if you have enough time, we're going to cover the step 1 of that 7-step process. But before we go into that, I'm going to talk about, in the first segment, we're going to talk about some exit planning myths. And what is the myth? Myth is usually something that grandma and grandpa told us, told our parents, and their parents told us, but in reality, that's probably not true information. So exit planning myth. So first, myth. I'm going to cover some step-by-step. It says, myth, my CPA will tell me when it's time to start planning for my business transition. You can probably say my attorney, my financial planner, my insurance professional can tell me when is the time for me to start preparing for my exit plan. And, you know, I'm holding myself right now not to burst in a laugh because this is a myth and it's actually a joke. None of the CPA will tell you, unfortunately, neither that your attorneys or financial planners, neither your insurance professionals. The fact is that your advisors, be they CPAs, attorneys, financial or insurance professional, may not initiate planning discussion primarily because you have not told them you are interested in leaving your business. Other reasons are following, and maybe this is one that will ring the bell with you. Your advisors may or may not have the experience they need to guide you to the successful exit. As a result, they don't think to ask you of your plans. Number 2, your legal and accounting advisors may focus their attention on compliance-type activities and do not see the forest for the trees. They solve specific problems or issues that clients bring to their attention. Many are simple, not planning-oriented. Similarly, financial and insurance professionals often focus on a smaller subset of overall planning, perhaps investment planning or life insurance planning to meet income needs or estate tax cost. And another reason is no single professional possess all of the skills and experience necessary to single-handedly lead an owner through the ownership transition process. Additionally, some professionals may not be comfortable cooperating closely with professionals from other disciplines for the benefits of their common clients. The results can be that the process stalls before it really gets started. Let me give you an example. When was the last time that your CPA told you, let's put your attorney, your investment advisor, financial planner, insurance guy in the same room and let's discuss how we're going to get you out of the business? Never. Okay? So this is just to prove the point of this myth. Having said that, there are, of course, many advisors who are exceptions to this generalization. It is dangerous to wait for others to take the first step. You, as a business owner, you need to take that initiative, but question is always how. You can ask your current advisor about their experience planning successful exit. Ask them what advisors they work with to help facilitate, design, and implement business transition strategies. You also need to read and learn. Don't assume that advisors will alert you when the time is ripe to begin your planning. Take the initiative, as you do when you read the newsletters that we send from our website. So if you're not on our newsletter list, I'm encouraging you, contact me, contact us. You can contact us through the website, Business Exit Planning Hawaii. You can ask to be put on the newsletter and you can start reading and educating yourself. Ask other professionals for suggestions. Your CPA, attorney, and financial insurance advisors are not the only ones equipped to help you. Lawyers and CPAs are not the sole source of ideas regarding planning and tax ideas. Your banker, business consultant, business broker, investment banker, valuation specialist, the one very important, may provide you with important exit planning information. No matter which advisor you speak to, emphasize your desire for confidentiality as you work through the exit planning process. The worst will be once you go around and start asking people about exit planning, especially here in Hawaii. We live in a small community. You start asking everybody around exit planning, and then they start forming the wrong assumption. They start sharing those your questions and your concern with everybody else, and little that you know, the community thinks that you're getting out of the business. Your employees are thinking that you're getting out of the business, and the business start going down the hill just because of the assumption. Even though planning for a successful exit should be at the top of every owner's agenda, the word exit can give employees, vendors, and customers the wrong impression, just like I said. Don't be afraid to ask any professional, especially those you have not retained in the past, to sign confidentiality agreements before you share information about your company. Confidentiality agreements, that's another topic that we can spend the whole show talk about it. Numerous times in the past, the people overlook the confidentiality agreements and importance of the confidentiality agreements, and they got themselves in all kind of trouble. Sometimes the employees leave. You don't ask them to sign anything. They didn't sign anything while they were working for you. And little that you know now, they're opening their own business and going after your clients. Planning for an owner's exit, it's a multidiscipline approach. It's simply too difficult for one professional to do it all. Further, some professionals may lack the training and the temperament to involve professionals from the other discipline when they first begin to represent client. For these reasons, many advisors mistakenly assume that exit planning is the responsibility of practice area of some other professional. Understandable, as all of these obstacles to action are, they can be overlooked and can be actually easily avoided if the business owner is ready to start thinking about exit planning. So you also need to know who can help you out. Who are the people that are qualified, people that went through the steps and processes of business exit planning, maybe get some additional education about it. Maybe they're doing it full time, day in and day out. And guess who they are? We are. 695-2102, 695-2102. You can give us a call if you're a business owner. Let's do a little chit-chat. We can talk about it. We can brainstorm. Nothing fancy, maybe just initial for you to start thinking about it sometimes in the future. A lot of time, business owners do not think about this unless something catastrophic happens or, business is not performing like it used to, and now you're thinking, oh my God, what should I do? Where should I go? Should I start thinking to get out of the business or not? Maybe at that point, that's a little bit too late. A lot of time, if you're in a partnership settings, and I'm telling you this all from our experience, there is always something going on in the business, in a partnership settings that, can drive this conversation to the surface. And you never know. Maybe you should be the partner that can bring this up and start discussing it. Okay, what is it? What is it that we're doing currently? Where we want to go going forward? How can we set this up so whenever we wanted to do because of the personal reason, we can initiate it? I can talk about this until tomorrow, but I think we are ready for maybe taking a first break for today. Today's topic is 7-step process. We're going to talk about a 7-step process in a business exit planning. That's what we're doing in and out, and I'm encouraging you to stay tuned with us. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break. Don't forget, we're listening Hawaii Money Resource. Today we have a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Salem Media of Hawaii proudly supports the community around us.
Did you know that every 2 seconds someone in Hawaii needs blood? Believe it or not, Blood Bank of Hawaii needs about 200 people to roll up their sleeves every day to meet the needs of Hawaii's patients. Give the gift of life this holiday season by donating blood. For more information, visit bbh.org. That's bbh.org or call 848-4770. Save lives today.
Everything you've achieved in life has been all you, right? Your work, your saving, your time, your planning. So there's no reason protecting your identity shouldn't be all you too, right? Wrong. It'd be hard to know where to start, how to find the time, and frankly, how to do it. Which is why there's LifeLock. We use technology to alert you to a wide range of threats to your identity beyond what you can see by simply monitoring your credit. And if you have a problem, one of our U.S.-based specialists will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you spare yourself the time, runaround, and frustration of doing it on your own. Join starting at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Now you can get 10% off. Go to lifelock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock and use promo code NEWS. LifeLock.
Once upon a time, there was a business owner who worked hard and watched his company flourish. Then came the time to sell his company and retire in Palm Beach. But the path to his happily ever after was full of pitfalls and monstrous taxes. Whatever was he to do?
It's not a fairy tale, and the wrong strategy can deprive you of a storybook ending. I'm Marko Mijuskovic, and I know about business valuation. I'm also a specialist in business exit, asset protection, and estate planning. Visit my website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, and I promise you'll find more than just a trail of breadcrumbs.
BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com is an online resource designed to help you prepare for the final stage of your business's life cycle. At BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com, you'll have no trouble at all finding workshops, podcasts, videos, articles, and more. Your happily ever after is just a click away at BusinessExitPlanningHawaii.com.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the outer islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. Don't forget, today we have a Business Exit Planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. Hawaii Money Resource, a weekly radio show. You can hear us on the air live every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. And you can also find the podcast at hawaiimoneyresource.com, hawaiimoneyresource.com. So since today we have a Business Exit Planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource, I'm going to talk a little bit more about our Business Exit Planning website, and the website address is businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Business Exit Planning Hawaii.com pretty much lists everything, all the components that you need to have in a process of your business exit planning and preparation for that final moment when you want to get out of the business. So in a previous segment, as I was talking about the myth, about the myths that maybe CPA will tell you when you're ready, or your financial advisor will tell you when you're ready. Unfortunately, they will not tell you when you're ready to get out of the business, because there is no determined time, and they're not controlling that time. And who's controlling it? It's you as a business owner. A lot of time, you as a business owner, you maybe have a slight idea that you want to get out of the business at one point in the future. You just don't know how and what you need to do. So because of that, some smart people from the Colorado developed the 7-step process and asked a bunch of people who are interested in that topic, like myself, a while ago, to get certification and additional knowledge. Pretty much. So when we are working with you as a business client, business owner clients, we know what we're talking about, and we have a structural process. So earlier I was talking about who can potentially help you. Unfortunately, you need to pretty much initiate everything by yourself. And the first question is that you need to ask yourself, when I want to get out. Don't ask yourself, it's not necessarily that that's the beginning of the end of your business. It's just another area, or you can call it another project that you should have on your agenda to think about it. What is it that I need to do in order to prepare my business for successful exit? Is that exit going to be in a year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Doesn't really matter, because what we find out working with the business owner for many, many years, we find out that once the business owners start thinking about the idea of getting out of the business, actually the stuff gets unfold, the business start going different direction. Even though you might not have a plan yet, but you have that idea. So in a process of exit planning, it's very important that you use the exit planning advisor. Okay, why is that important? We're going to talk about it right now. So, for example, your business or your investment advisor suggested that you should sell company to ESOP. So you ask, is that a good idea? Another question that you might getting or might asking yourself is, my estate planning attorney recommended that I begin giving my business to my children. And then the question is, what do you think? This is all the questions that I'm getting from the business owners out there. Another one is, I'm getting tired of running my business every day. My accountant thinks a sale to a third party is a good idea. What is your opinion? Sell to key employees, employee stock ownership plans, transfers to children, and sale to the third parties can all be excellent exit strategies. So questions like these should elect an I have no idea response from your advisors. How can any professional know which particular exit path is best for you? Unless and until your advisors know more about your company and the exit goals you wish to achieve, they cannot possibly know which exit route is best. If they readily answer your questions, they might lack experience or coordinated approach to helping you as a business owner, as a client. It is the job of the experienced exit planning advisor to ask you the right questions so that you decide whether you are going, who is going to help you get there, and the route you're going to take. Your answers help your advisors plan and implement the exit strategy that will best meet your goals. So we recommend you to begin with the exit planning journey with two things. First of all, it's a roadmap, and the number two is experience guide. So two things, very simple. You need a roadmap and you need a guide. Just think about it, going to Safari and you're going to sightseeing somewhere in Safari, somewhere in Africa, and you have no clue where to go. You don't have a map and you don't have a guide. What do you think, how far you're going to go? You will be lucky if you don't get eaten by the lions, okay? So that's a little joke. If you're a regular reader of our newsletters, you will already start to shift and mold your mind. If you're not a reader of our newsletters, I'm encouraging you to go to our website, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, and there is a section that says, newsletters. Under the resources, you can click the newsletters, and you can pretty much subscribe yourself to our newsletters. And we send the newsletters, by the way, we send the newsletters twice a month. These newsletters are specifically geared for business owners and preparation for business exit. If you need more resources, you can also find those resources on our website at under the Business Exit Planning Hawaii.com. So what advisors do you actually need in this process? We said earlier that you need to contract the business exit planning advisor like ourselves. We have quite a few in our office. It used to be only me. Certified exit planner. Now we have like 3 or 4, and the number is changing as we speak. Planning an exit is a multidisciplinary voyage, or I can say project. Protecting assets, growing value, transferring business to children or co-owners or employees, selling to the third party, assuring business continuity are tasks that exceed the experience of one advisors. That's why we recommend team of the advisors. And guess who is doing a quarterbacking on that team? We do. Advisor team generally consists of the following professionals: financial insurance professionals, business or estate planning attorney, CPA or accountant, whoever you have, business consultants as needed. If third-party sale is likely, the team will include also a transaction intermediary or business broker or investment banker and transaction attorney. We need these guys because they are having a certain set of skills that we can utilize it in the process of preparation for exit. So do they all have to have exit planning experience? Well, that will be ideal, but the answer is no. Not all advisors understand the exit planning process, but all should be able to work with other professionals as the members of the team. Of course, it will be very bad if your insurance or a financial planning professional don't want to work, for example, with some attorneys or CPA. Lawyers and CPAs are expensive. Won't this team cost a fortune? That's usually a question I get. Assembling and consulting with your advisor team not only facilitates the exchange of information and ideas, but can reduce your cost by increasing the efficiency of each advisor. Instead of advisors proceeds in this disjointed manner, often repeating the work of others, you and your lead exit planning advisor coordinate the efforts of all advisors. Let me give you a quick example. Right now we're working on a project. We have a client who is transferring the business to former consultant of that business. We have attorneys engaged in the whole process of preparation of legal documents. We created a term sheets. Term sheets get accepted. Conversation between me and attorney was constant. Client was engaged once in a while. Client was actually the one creating the term sheet because client know what they want to get out of this transfer. And once that is done, we pretty much submit it to the attorneys. Attorneys put it in a legal format, and then potential buyer sign off on it, agreed on it, made little changes, then sign on off. And now we're moving to the long format and actually executing the final agreement of the transaction. How long it took? Well, it depends. Can be very quick if the business owner knows what they want, or can be a long process. It all depends, but a lot of time what we find out, if the process is long, it's a extra reason for you to have a business exit planner or advisor in your corner, because things can easily get kind of like be pushed down the road and you actually forget what happened, what did you talk, nobody to keep you accountable, and usually you waste more money, time, and resources. So having the business exit planner in your corner definitely helps with that, helps keeping you on track, keeping you executing what you're supposed to execute, and move you closer to your goal as we speak. So many business owners are familiar with many of these professionals and have worked with them individually in the past, but have not assembled them as a team charged with a common goal, helping you to live your business in style. So that's what we do. When we engage with a client, one of the main things that we do is assembling the team and making this team actually work as a team versus individual. Even though, like I said earlier, you had experience working with these individual advisors on individual basis, but never as a part of the team. Even though even though if you're not planning for exit, that you put your CPA, your financial planner, your insurance guy, and attorney at least once a year in the same room to make sure that all ideas and all the questions are answered in a timely manner for the benefits of you as a business owner. So long story short, before we go on a break, I just want to make sure that you understand importance of using the exit planning advisor. On top of that, what else exit planning advisor does, what else we do, not only just manage your team, we also help you develop the ideas, create the strategies, how the business is going to be transferred, how's the money going to flow from the business and you actually from the business into your pocket as a business owner, or how the new person that is coming on board is going to finance that deal. How can we make it tax effective for the business, for you as a business owner, as a seller, and your key employee potentially as a buyer? If this is internal transfer, if it's a transfer to the kids, how can we integrate this on a very a tax favorable basis with your overall estate planning, with your personal financial planning, etc., etc. So the scope of work that we do is very extensive, and what people don't understand, we usually get engaged in the beginning of the process, and we are the last one to kind of check out of that team. So we are with you as a business owner for a long period of time. Does that cost a lot of money? No. How can you find out? Well, simply call 695-2102, 695-2102. Why don't we take our second break? Once we come back from the break, we're going to dive into that 7-step process that you were expecting to hear about it. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner. Let's go through the break, and I'll see you and hear you in a second. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
Salem Media of Hawaii proudly supports the community around us.
The Hawaii State Department of Health reminds you to fight the bite and don't let mosquitoes get the best of you. Do some good and fight the bite in your neighborhood by fixing leaking faucets and screen doors. Remove standing water from your patios and yards. For more tips on how to do some good and fight the bite in your neighborhood, visit fightthebitehawaii.com.
Okay, do we have everything ready for the trip?
Let's go through the list.
Laptop.
Check.
Tablet.
Check.
Smartphones.
Check and double check.
iDrive.
Check. Wait, what?
iDrive. We're flying cross-country with half a dozen devices. We're going to need our data backed up.
Oh, like our tax records, home movies, wedding pictures?
Exactly. And because it securely backs up all of our devices to one location in the cloud, no matter what happens to our gadgets, we're protected.
Is it safe?
It has military-grade encryption, so only we can access our files.
iDrive sounds great. So that means it must cost a fortune.
That's the best part. For less than $5 a month, I'm protecting our desktop, laptop, tablet, and smartphones. Plus, I signed up at iDrive.com with the promo code PROTECT, so I saved us 20% on the first year.
So does that mean we can upgrade to first class?
Nice try.
How would you like to work in the world of finance? Wealth Strategy Partners is considering smart, motivated financial associates. You will have the potential to earn competitive earnings while providing a necessary service to the community. Furthermore, when you join Wealth Strategy Partners, you will be eligible to receive a full benefits package, including insurance, a pension plan, and more. If you enjoy working with people and have an interest in making a difference in people's lives, contact Wealth Strategy Partners, 695-2102. That's 695-2102. Make the call that could change your life. 695-2102. Join Wealth Strategy Partners, 695-2102. Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, abbreviated PAS, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004. Securities, products, or services and advisory services are offered through PAS, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor, 888-600-4667. PAS is a member of FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, also Certified Exit Planner, 695-2102, 695-2102. If you have a question, you're stuck in a problem, and you're a business owner, that is the phone number for your help, 695-2102, 695-2102. Today's topic of business exit planning, additional Hawaii Money Resource, is 7-step process. And you hear me talk about 7-step process all the time. If you didn't hear me, then you definitely saw that on our website, because business exit planning is proven owner-centric process that business owners use to plan successful exit from their companies. The process benefits both owners and their companies, even if they never plan to exit. This is something that I always say, that this process, 90% of the things that you need to do and cover in this process, you should cover and do regardless of do you have exit or not. But it begins and ends with the owner principal exit objectives. Number 1, the date the owner wants to leave. Number 2, the amount of money owners want in the bank when they leave. And number 3, the successor they choose to take over their company. Very simple. Once owners set these 3 objectives, of course, with our help and that of the other members and the help of the other members of the exit planning team, they can proceed through the next 6 steps of the process. And those are determining and, if necessary, building and protecting the business value, managing and coordinating the business continuity, estate planning issues, and finally, executing the transfer so it meets the owner's financial and other goals. This is put in a nice verbiage, but if you like to see this on a step-by-step basis, I will cover that in a second. If you missed this show and you're kind of wondering where I can find these 7 steps, definitely you can find that under the Business Exit Planning Hawaii.com. Click on the exit planning and you will be landed right there. Step number 1, exit objectives. Your desired departure date, the income you need to achieve financial security, and the person to whom you want to leave the business. Step number 2, valuation and the cash flow. We also call this business or determining the value gap. Value between your business value and your personal financial value. Step number 3, making the business more valuable. Step number 4, if the sale to the third party is involved, that's what we're going to be focusing on. Step number 5, transferring the business to co-owners or family members. This is usually identified as internal transfer. Step number 6, business continuity planning. And step number 7, wealth preservation planning. Those are the 7 steps that usually business owners should go through when they're planning for their departure. If not, you might be facing some challenges in the process of preparation for exit. For some owners, the thumbnail sketch of a plan to achieve their goals is adequate. They know they should be planning for the most significant financial event of their business career, and they like the fact that the exit planning process is all about them. Guess what? When you're dealing with the business owners, they're usually type A personality. They only like themselves most of the time. With these owners, you can immediately dive into the planning process. Other owners, however, need more of explanation. They want to know exactly how the process works, or perhaps why they can skip some of these steps. A lot of times you need to ask yourself as a business professional, really, all these questions that I'm asking, yes, I would like to learn about the process, but sometimes I'm using this stage of playing dumb, or stage of I would like to learn as much as I can, kind of analysis make you paralysis, you know how they say that. Sometimes you business owners using this as an excuse because, why? Because they are just not ready to get out, or they procrastinate because maybe they don't know what they're going to be doing once they get out of the business. So for us as a business exit planning advisors, it's very important to address all these questions and make sure that the business owner opens up and tell us exactly how they feel and exactly what they want to do. So a lot of time I personally feel like a psychologist. That's why I recently installed a sofa in my office so they can lie down and tell me all of their dreams and goals and tell me all the stories all the way back to the childhood. That's a joke. But the sofa is there. To answer the question, or at least to explain why they cannot skip step 1, there are 3 pieces of information that must be accurately quantified before anyone can create a comprehensive exit plan. Number 1, when is the departure date? What is the target departure date? Number 2, preliminary financial needs analysis. And number 3, chosen successor. If you don't know these 3 answers, if you don't have these 3 answers, for us as a business exit planning advisors, it's really hard to prepare exit plan. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Everything is possible. And what we do in situation like that, maybe we focus on the different things first before we answer these questions. Maybe we do a little bit more tax planning ahead of a time before the business owner realize or have enough time to brainstorm about these questions and get the answer for these questions. Maybe we do a little bit more personal financial strategizing. Maybe we can, create some of the help when it comes to the budgets. And, maybe we talk a little bit more about the wills and trust and talk more about estate protection or asset protection. And then with idea that all these products and services that they're acquiring in the process can be implemented in overall exit plan. The reason many owners never begin the exit planning is that they have not spent any time considering the terms and conditions under which they would happily leave their business. Nor will they begin until you or us initiate discussion with them about those terms and conditions, or aka exit goals. Our discussion involves asking owners a lot of why questions designed to clarify their thinking and uncover goals they might not be aware of. In order to do that, we need a solid understanding of exit goals. So let's talk a little bit more about the goal most owners have floating around in their minds. Target departure date, first goal. Setting a target departure date is indispensable to creating an exit plan. For example, a plan for an owner who wants out in 2 years looks quite different from the plan for the same owner with the departure date 10 years later. Business Enterprise Institute from Colorado, where we got certified, survey owners indicates that almost all owners have an exit date in mind. Half want to exit within 5 years and 80% within 10 years. types of departure dates is another thing that is going through the owner's mind. Interestingly, while owners set their departure dates first, it is one objective that owners most often adjust repeatedly. This ongoing tinkering is so prevalent in exit planning, so it's actually it's usually a 5-year exit plan. That's something that a lot of owners are kind of bouncing back and forth, 3 to 5 years. Owner wants to exit in 5 years, but since they never started the exit process, they are always 5 years away from leaving. What does that mean? 2014, I talked to the company A. How many years before you want to get out? 5. Okay. 2015, same business owner. When you want to get out? 5 years, Marko. I told you that last year. 2016 come around and I ask him, okay, when you want to get out? 5 years, Marko. Now we're like 3 years later. They're still in a 5 years time frame, not realizing that every time they say 5 years, we're pushing a year longer. So by the time we actually execute this deal or execute this exit plan, that will be 10 years later when they're going to be actually getting out of the business. So you might have a date, you might have a number of years before you exit, but don't forget, you need to put that target date or target year on the wall so it's always the same year and it's not ever pushed year forward. We also need to ask, and when we asking our question, we ask the business owners, why 5 years? Why you want to exit in 5 years? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? That question itself is one of the biggest concern for the business owners. What is it that they will be doing? What is it that they will be doing after they get out of the business? And I will tell you, if they worked all their life in the business and they don't know anything else or they don't have any other hobbies or anything that interests them, that can be actually the largest obstacle for them. They cannot visualize themselves doing something other than just going to work and bossing people around. So, if you're a business owner and that's your situation, I'm definitely encouraging you, find a hobby that might be beneficial for you in order for you to get out of the business. We're going to take our break, the last break. Today's topic is the 7-step process. We cover a little bit about first setting up the objectives, departure dates. When I come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about the 7-step process and more about setting up the exit objectives. Stay tuned. My name is Marko Mijuskovic. You're listening Business Exit Planning, additional Hawaii Money Resource. Stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
.760 KGU.
Part of the Wall Street Business Network.
For America's wounded warriors, sometimes coming home can be a battle in itself. Every one of them needs our support to meet the challenges they face every day. The USO provides Americans a way to offer that support to our wounded warriors and their families. Join us. Visit USO.org to learn how you can make a difference in their lives. The USO.
We all want to retire someday, but how will you afford it? Marko Mijuskovic here, financial advisor for Wealth Strategy Partners. Times are tough, but nothing brings comfort and security like having a financial strategy. Some financial strategies can be complicated, all those numbers and percentage points. It makes your head spin, but that's why I created an easier to understand system called Retirement Income Timeline. Let me analyze your situation using my Retirement Income Timeline, and I'll show you how you may be able to turn your money worries of today into a stress-free retirement of tomorrow. It's easy. Just call me and I'll assist you. Get your personal retirement income timeline by me, Marko Mijuskovic, today. Call 695-2102, 695-2102.
Registered representative and financial advisor of Park Avenue Securities, LLC, abbreviated PAS, 7 Hanover Square, New York, 10004. Securities products or services and advisory services are offered through PAS, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. PAS is a member FINRA SIPC.
Achieving personal financial success can be complicated. Marko Mijuskovic can make it simpler. That's something very good to know in a world where the wrong financial decisions can be all too costly. Marko Mijuskovic, Vice President of Wealth Strategy Partners, has been helping people in Hawaii successfully organize and plan their finances for years. Marko uses an holistic approach to help you balance your current financial obligations as well as your future concerns. And he does this while keeping things simple. Organizing your finances is serious business, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Find out how Marko can help you make smart, informed decisions about your financial future. Call him and schedule your complimentary session and tell him your story. He's there to listen. The toll-free number to call is 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102. 877-695-2102. Marko Mijuskovic. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource with financial advisor Marko Mijuskovic. If you'd like to speak to Marko, either on the air or after the show, call toll-free from Oahu and the Outer Islands, 877-695-2102. That's 877-695-2102.
Welcome back. You're listening to Hawaii Money Resource. Today we have a business exit planning additional Hawaii Money Resource. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners, and I'm as well certified exit planner. I help business owners actually prepare their business and prepare themselves personally so one day they can get out of that business. When is that day going to be? I don't know. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 7 years, whatever years you feel comfortable, as long as you put that date on the wall and you follow the timelines. A lot of time people think, oh, what, 10 years, so we're going to be preparing for 10 years to get out? No, the plan, development of the exit plan usually takes 30 to 60, maybe 90 days. Execution of the plan might take 3 or 4 months, putting all the wheels in place and taking care of the business. Now, maintenance of the plan and what the plan is supposed to do for you, that might take 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, or 10 years. So as you can see, there is a steps. First steps is development of the plan that can last anywhere up to 60 or 90 days. Second step is implementation of the plan that can last, again, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever. Sometimes even a year, and then that plan to take effect might take the longest period of time. So that's why we encourage people to start thinking about it right now. Even though you don't have an exit on your mind, you should do these steps regardless, because a lot of time there will be a lot of tax savings, more tax efficiencies, better preparation, better planning, more money in your pockets, and you will not be feeling like you're running around like a crazy person and just kind of putting up the fires and making sure that, you're meeting the payroll, et cetera, et cetera. It's not all about that. It's a little bit more about planning and enjoying your life just because you have this business that is creating all this good stuff for you. So we talked about earlier about setting up the objectives. Let's talk a little bit more about setting up objectives. Like I mentioned earlier, starting point for any type of plan is defining its goals. In the case of planning a business exit, that means knowing what it means to exit your business in style. Philosophers, business owners, and successful people from all walks of life understand the critical importance of establishing goals, creating plans to attain those goals, and preserving to see their plans through to completion. So the quote, the will is to select a goal, determine a course of action that will bring one to the goal, and then hold to that action till the goal is reached. This key is action. The key is action. And this is from Michael Hansen. Having worked with the owners to create successful exit, we know that it's critical that you establish 3 principal exit objectives before moving forward with your exit plan. Number 1, how much cash do you need when you exit to support the lifestyle you desire? And the question is, do you want to be cashed out when you leave the business, or you're willing to receive the purchase price over time? Number 2, when do you want to leave the company? Or how much longer are you willing to remain active in the company? And number 3, to whom do you want to transfer the company? Child, employee, corner, or perhaps to an outside party who can pay the top dollar. So let's look at example of the owner who arrived at his exit date without plan to reach his goal. So like we always do when we're covering these topics, we take some imaginary business owner. This time we're going to call it Ben, and the Ben is a 45 years old plastic. He has 45 employees in a plastic extrusion company and had the long thought of transferring his business to a son and a key employee, but had done little to prepare for this transfer. As tougher economic conditions challenged his company, however, he reached his 58th birthday and he decided it was time to retire and called the advisor. So Ben, it's helpful that you establish 2 of the 3 exit objectives critical to all successful business exit. You determine that you don't want to work much longer in the business, and second, you have decided that you want to transfer the business to your son and the key employee. But what about the third exit objective? How much money do you want or need when you leave the business? And have you determined whether you need cash or can you accept promissory note? At this point, after we asked Ben this question, he had 2 choices. Number 1, he could retire immediately and try to sell the company for cash, but not to his son or key employee. They had no cash and no bank would lend an amount even close to the amount of money necessary to close the deal. If Ben wanted to sell today and receive the amount that would support his post-exit lifestyle, he would have to sell to an outside third party with sufficient cash. Second option or second choice for Ben will be Ben could sell the company to his son and key employee, but wait 6 to 10 years to receive, hopefully, the entire purchase price. Ben's situation illustrates why setting your objective or goals, understanding how each affects the other, creating a plan, and then acting to reach those goals is so critical to successful exit. If you prefer to leave your business in style, you must take time to formulate specific, consistent, attainable goals and objectives. You must determine course of action, a plan based upon those goals, and you must hold to the action till the goal is reached. The key is action. Without setting the goals, the outset of your exit journey, you might drift aimlessly until, like Ben, it's too late. So don't be an owner who is too busy working in your company to work on the most important financial event of your business life. We are happy, I'm telling you, we are very happy to help you begin by providing you with more information about setting objectives and other exit planning topics. So the phone number that you should always remember and should always know is 695-2102, 695-2102. That is the number that you should dial when you need help, when you start thinking about exit. And don't try to do it by yourself because you have a business to run. You don't want that business to hurt just because now you're going around trying to read all the books possible, all the searches online and talk to everybody and try to figure this all stuff by yourself. There is a people that do this. This is like doing a surgery on yourself. You cannot do it. Hire the professional. So what was the topic for today? Today's topic was 7-step process when it comes to this business exit planning. We had a business exit planning edition of Hawaii Money Resource. I'm going to quickly, before we wrap up today's show in a couple of minutes, right? I'm going to quickly cover the 7 steps that you should know. If you missed them by any chance, go to businessexitplanninghawaii.com. Website is loaded with the stuff and information that you can read on. Under the resources, you can find all kind of good stuff. But the 7th step is step number 1, objectives. That's what we covered today. Step 2, valuation and cash flow. That's something that you can also start at our website, Business Exit Planning Hawaii. You can start your initial valuation of the business. We have a software and tools. Step number 3, making the business more valuable. Step number 4, sell to the third party. Step number 5, transfer to co-owners or family members. Step number 6, business continuity upon death or disability. And step number 7, wealth preservation planning. As you can see, a lot of good stuff. Imagine if we are telling you all this during our radio show for the last 58 minutes. Imagine how much more we know when we learn about your business and how much more we can do when we know the specifics. We have almost a minute left. Let me just remind you one more time, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, businessexitplanninghawaii.com, 695-2102, 695-2102. Contact us. There is no initial cost to you to learn a little bit more about the business exit planning. And don't forget, every Wednesday night, 5 to 6 p.m., Hawaii Money Resource on the air since 2011. My name is Marko Mijuskovic, Senior Partner at Wealth Strategy Partners. Do not change the channel. Do not go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
The Living Balance Sheet and the Living Balance Sheet logo are registered service marks of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. The graphics and text used herein are the exclusive property of Guardian and protected under U.S. and international copyright laws. Copyright 2005 to 2011. The Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. This show is for informational purposes only. Individual risk tolerance and investment objectives must be reviewed prior to making any specific recommendations. Marko Mijuskovic is a registered representative and financial advisor for Park Avenue Securities, LLC, 7 Hanover Square, New York, New York, 10004. Securities products, services, and advisory services are offered through Park Avenue Securities, a registered broker-dealer and investment advisor. 888-600-4667. Financial representative, the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, New York. Park Avenue Securities is an indirect, wholly owned subsidiary of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Wealth Strategy Partners is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Park Avenue Securities or the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America. Park Avenue Securities is a member FINRA SIPC.